Hey there, it's Dallas here. Just thought I'd have a chat to you about mindset. So for me, one of the big challenges in moving from a one-on-one service delivery model to running a group coaching program is just the mindset. You know, you see these online coaches or, people who are well known, celebrity coaches, let's call them. People who offer services one-to-many. And it seems like, well, look, other people do that, I can't. And to me, there was a big mindset gap between where I was and the plausibility of being able to do that. And I'd sort of put it down to, well, I can't do that, or that must be really hard. I'd need some extra things to do that. But the biggest block was actually the mindset, the belief that I couldn't get there. And part of, there's sort of two ways to approach this. One is to sort of affirm that you've already got something even though you don't have it. So that's sort of like saying, hey, I'm rich, even though you're not. And that can work, that kind of mindset driven stuff can work, but what tends to happen is that you kind of believe it for a little while and then you rebel against it and you sabotage it. So that mindset stuff can work, but in practice, our sanity kicks in and says, no, you're really not rich, or you really can't fly. Don't try. Do something that makes you feel comfortable. It kind of proves to you that you were joking or you weren't serious. And so we tend to sabotage ourselves when we approach it in that way. The other way to do it is to imagine, to sort of feel like I've got everything I want, and to take the steps that you'd take as if you already had it. So that might be that you sort of schedule time in your diary for, to run the program, to do all the steps as if you're already there. And this is sort of going through the motions and executing the behavior, which helps to reinforce the mindset stuff. So that's really valuable. But there's a third way that I want to introduce, and that is that our brains are prepared to believe we're going to go somewhere, even if we're not there. Let's say, for example, you're going to take a trip to China, and you're in no way in China now, but if you started doing some things such as getting a passport, planning a route, buying a ticket, learning Chinese, all these things that are really necessary steps to get you to China, then your brain has and your identity, your sort of self-conception has a much easier time believing you're really going to China, and you tend not to self-sabotage. If you fail to take those steps, then going to China will seem extremely stressful or unbelievable, and you probably think, look, it's too hard, I might cancel that ticket, or I still haven't even got the ticket. Suddenly it gets too hard, you don't end up in China. So we want to make sure that when we're planning our group training program, that we're addressing all the obstacles, all the essential steps that will get us there. If we don't do that, the idea of taking this big, bold new step will be very stressful indeed, and we'll sabotage our best endeavours, and it'll fall through, and it will seem like, yeah, another one of these crazy ideas. I thought I could do it, but then I realised, of course, I can't, and I should just stick to a 9 to 5, or stick to working for clients one-to-one, even though I hate it, or even though I know I can do much better. So what I want for you is to write a list of everything that's stopping you from getting to where you want to go. Just all the objections that you have about why you can't do this, because these are ways your identity is protecting you from damage, from doing something crazy. Just like if you thought you could fly, your brain kicks in and says, no, hang on, I don't have wings, there's no soft landing, I don't have a parachute, I don't have a jetpack. Your safety defenses kick in to protect yourself. They're doing that now, and they're going to stop you from taking risky steps toward a seemingly unachievable goal. So write down, brainstorm an exhaustive list of everything that's going to stop you getting to where you want to go. And in the program, I've covered the major stuff, like the really big things that are going to stop you, but you're going to come up with your own unique set of lists. Some of them are going to be superstitions, they're going to be unreasonable and not actually true, but true for you. And if you don't address them, if you don't name them, then you can't address them. So you might have some weird sort of superstitious ideas or not entirely accurate for everyone, but still true for you. And it might be about what other people think of you, for example. It might be fears you have about speaking on public or going on video or putting your name out there or telling your friends that you're doing this thing that's different from what other people do. One of the things that can be really significant for other people, for a lot of people, is that they don't know anyone else who's doing it. And that's one of the reasons in this program we've got a group of people all with the same goal, and we're all going to do it. We're all going to start off asserting that we're going to do it and support each other when we go through the inevitable doubts that we're not going to be able to do it, or that we're going to back out, or that it's too hard, or we don't know how. And together we're all going to go through the steps. So the 5 steps in this program, we're in step number 1 now, which is vision. That's really seeing clearly what we want to achieve and then going out there and making it happen according to that vision. So vision is the first step. The next step is client attraction, because it's all very well to say, hey, I'm going to run this high price group coaching program. I'm going to enroll a heap of people who are going to pay me a heap of money to get an awesome result. And the flaw in the cunning plan is, well, who's going to pay you a heap of money to do this thing? And how are you going to get a lot of them? And so the next step is client attraction. How are we going to do this? And I'll show you exactly how we're going to do this. And at first it will seem implausibly difficult and like it can't possibly work for you. I'm going to show you, we're going to get you 1, we're going to get you 2, we're going to get you 3. By then you'll be convinced you can get to 5 or 10 or 20, whatever your number is that you want to serve at once. If you can get to 3, you can get to 20. The next step is actually how you're going to serve more than one person at once, because we all are able to come up, we're generally able to deliver a high price product to one person and really give it our all and give them a great result. But the idea that you can do 2 or 3 at once, when actually 1 is kind of hard, 1 is often pushing us, can seem really challenging. But what I'm going to do is show you ways to leverage your time, leverage your skills, and leverage your personal value to do more than 1 at once. And surprisingly, it's actually not harder to do more than 1 at once. There's lots of benefits to serving people in a group. They get benefits, just like you're going to get benefits by being in a group in this program. Your clients will get benefits. And going through this program, I'm going to be very explicit about how you're benefiting doing this as a group rather than one-on-one. And knowing that other people have been here before you. Now the 4th step is the result. It's one thing to come up with this idea. It's another thing to enroll some clients and sell it to people. It's another one to enroll more than a few people at once, but then you've actually got to deliver the result. So we're going to get very clear on what the result is. And this is really important because effectively the result is what we sell. We're not selling the program, we're not selling our online course or our time with us, and you're not selling you. That's really important. One of the big blocks is people tend to think, oh, I can't charge that much. Why would anyone pay me? They're not paying you. They're investing in themselves to get a transformation themselves, and you're helping them get there. They're paying to get to the result. They're investing in themselves to get to the result. With that mindset, it takes the pressure off you to perform. It takes that anxiety we have that we're not enough, because we're just a conduit or a catalyst to help people achieve something that's within them, that they want, and that can be achieved through a logical set of steps. And that you have the skills and experience to do that. You've done it before individually, You're going to come up with a system to deliver that reliably. That's the third step. But then you're going to figure out what the result is, what it means for them, and why they're going to want it, because that's what we sell them on. And that's what they're going to receive, what's going to make it the whole thing worthwhile, having invested and putting all the time and effort in. Another thing I want to emphasize is, for you selling it, there's probably going to be some anxiety about how much you're charging for the result. We're going to position the price so that it's a fraction of what the benefit they're getting is. And generally I operate at about 10%, or sometimes a 20 times return or a 5 times return. At that price point, it's well worth people paying a high ticket price to get a really valuable result to them. And with that in mind, keeping an eye on what the value of that result is, that's really useful to take the pressure off the money in your mind. But another way to do that is that there's actually a very considerable investment of time and trust and effort and energy on their part. In fact, the money is the smallest investment they make. They need to invest in themselves on many levels, and you need to be choosing people who are able to make that investment, not just pay you the money. If that's all they do, they're not going to get the result. And so you need to be very careful that you're qualifying people according to their commitment, according to their other assets and resources, their capability, the steps they've done so far. If you think it's all about the money, you'll enroll the wrong people and they won't get the result. They need to be ticking all those other boxes. The money is just the final step. And then finally the fifth step, which is I call escalation. That's how you step it up, because getting the first 3 or 4 or 5 is exciting. That's much more rewarding than doing it one-on-one. But if you only do 3 or 5 at a time, you're actually still stuck pretty much in one-to-one mode, and you haven't really built a business that can be scaled beyond just serving a handful of clients at a time. In the escalation, we're looking at how you grow your business quickly, how you scale to multiple people, and how you can repeat that and grow a business that's more than just you serving clients on one-on-one. It's a repeatable business. Once you get to that point, you've truly developed a scalable business, and that's a saleable business as well. It's more than just you. You've got a system that you've proven that can be repeated, and it means that if you do it once, you can do it again in 6 months or a year, however long your program is, and you know you can repeat this system to earn a reliable, repeatable income. That gives you freedom. So escalation is all about freedom. So there are 5 steps. That's what I want to give to you, what I want to share with you. And I'm really excited you're on this journey together, because it's, in many ways, you're going to get each other there as much as I'm going to get you there. So, have a look around the other people in the program. Think of, they're going to be there to support you, and you need to be there to support them, because this is very much a group undertaking. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for listening. I hope it's been helpful, and we'll catch you in the next video.